It's Thursday night, and it's time to unwrap Las Vegas right here on VANR. That's VegasAllNetRadio.com, which means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash.
Welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, JPEG, Bobcat, and Dave Padgett joins us at the microphone. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing awesome. You guys are just having way too much fun.
I'm telling you.
That's why we have you on in the second hour.
That's right.
Stella from Australia.
I'm telling you, that's good stuff.
We're moving up it, or are we
and it's a
moving down?
legitimate call from Australia, by
Of
the way.
course.
Are we moving up, or are we moving down in
I
class?
was with Ricky just trying to understand every third word.
Yeah, really? I don't know what she's saying.
And with the delays, and really it's not much of a delay on the phone, but we tend to step on each other because we want to respond. She's not done talking. She's great. She
sounds like a sweetheart of a lady.
And I'll tell you what, and she does her own radio show in Australia, and she's a TV actress, and
cool.
she's really adopted us.
We owe this to the Bob.
Yeah,
to the
JPEG.
I mean.
She was a guest on another show that JPEG worked, and we managed to swindle her to come over to our show as a guest, and it's worked out. So it's and she's just adopted us and supported us out there, and we're very blessed for that.
Cool.
So
We're gonna get her own show.
yeah, exactly,
There you go.
exactly.
Nobody will understand a word.
Deanna, well, listen.
I
If I can
understand.
get Mark Weinberger to slow down and let him be heard on the radio,
Oh,
then we could do this with Stella.
Let me tell you.
we could do the two of them on the same show.
Jeez.
No, you've done a great job.
Yeah,
His walk sounds great.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So if we can get him to be heard pretty well, then Stella should
Except when
be
he gets
okay.
excited.
Yes, well, that's true. All right, Dina
And
House of Diamonds is in the house, getting ready for the holidays.
In the house.
And
Ready. We're in the midst.
I know you are.
We are in the midst of it.
Website is dndrdiamonds.com for all your diamond information you could want, schedule making and everything else.
Yep.
And of course, you just pointed me to a new feature on your website. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, we have two websites right now. As you know, nobody likes to type. Okay?
Right.
So
Right.
we created a short URL. Basically, it's shop, the letter D for me, Dave, and an R for Rich, my business partner, .com. So shop DNR Diamond, shop DNR.com will take you straight to our online shopping site. What's really cool about it is it's an entire inventory online. Like you could pretty much find anywhere else on the net. The benefit of our site, which I think is pretty cool, is you click on it and you have a shopping cart just like you have any other shopping cart online. The difference is you don't need a credit card, because what it does is it sends what you've picked directly to us, either myself or to Rich, and we can kind of give you a call back and even work through the prices even a little better than what you'll find online, and work out arrangements to get it to you, whether that's shipping or whether that's delivering it here if you're local, or if you want to stop by the office and pick it up. But the values are from $50 on up, so we can cover anybody's price point. And some really nice stuff. All trendy, all current, all nice and updated. So lots of good stuff to pick from, and the selections are incredible. A lot of the styles are featured in a particular color. Some are yellow, some are white. But as you click on the item, it'll give you the choice. Do you want it in yellow? Do you want it in white? Do you want to change the diamonds? A lot of flexibility in the site. And it updates the prices accordingly as you make your selections. And it's pretty cool, pretty slick. So I invite everybody to check it out. It's just another way for us to serve our clients. They don't have to necessarily leave the comfort of their home or their couch, and we can still give them that personalized service that you just can't get with typically any other website, because you're talking to basically a computer, not a human being.
Right.
And we're available.
I think I just bought a $1,500 ring by mistake. That's okay. Make payments on it.
Don't worry.
You'll be loved.
I know. I know. I'm tooling around on the site, and it's a very easy site to maneuver. And it's great that it is, because a lot of people, if you got a website that's not easy to navigate, people will dive off of it faster than who knows what. So
Yeah.
I just tooled around on it in a couple of the categories. You have bridal, jewelry, mountings, diamonds, and gemstones, and then you've got drop-down menus with like about 15 different categories that each of those can fall under for looking. So
I have a young nephew that's just an absolute guru with websites, and his motto is, if you can't get to where you need to get to within 2 or 3 clicks, you're done.
right.
And so that's the key. You got to just be able to get to where you need to go real fast.
Mhm.
But that's the other thing too. Let's be honest. Not everybody out there in the world's a computer wizard. So you got to keep it simple, keep it easy. But
Mhm.
you know, jewelry is one of those kind of categories where, you know, with guys come into the office, they know cars, they know a lot of things. But when it comes to diamonds, it's a bit scary. So you never know who to trust or who to really believe in. And that's, you know, we're comfortable in educating and teaching and giving people comfort in their process of making a decision.
One of the things that I experienced with these guys is when I took Cami over there last February for her birthday and Valentine's Day, and it's almost atypical of what we're talking about here online. We actually had a chance to do it with you guys right there and design and pick out certain things, and the attention to detail was so amazing that when the finished product came out, it absolutely looked exactly what it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And the fact that over the past almost year now, if she has not gotten, and I'm going to be 50, at least 50 different comments from people about not just the stones and the arrangement, but just how well it looked. And you know, it's funny because she gives me the credit. She said, "You designed it." I said, "No, I had Dave and Rich there, and it was just like, you know, it was like a blueprint, right?"
Sure.
And it was amazing.
Well, that's what's so interesting about our world today. You know, the day when I broke into the jewelry industry in 1977, I guess I'm really telling on myself now. But, you know, in that day, and it's still true with a lot of jewelers today, the tremendous amount of investment you need to make in inventory. And the problem is gold is so volatile. We're dealing with commodities, and if you buy at $1,900, which is what gold was not too long ago, and now it's at 12, well, half your inventory was just devalued by over a third. So, you know, our goal is to just never get that invested. But computers and CAD/CAM technology allow us to not have 70% of our inventory dead, because
Yeah.
you're selling 20% or 30% of what you stock, and the rest of it is dead inventory sitting there, and it's tying up your capital. So, you know, we just think the consumer really has a good idea of what they're looking for, and with computers we can design it for them and actually give them a visual, almost a photograph, of what it will look like when it's completed. And that's just one of the advantages you get when you come visit us at the office. And I appreciate what you said, Ricky. It's very true, and we appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
No, it's amazing too, and the fact that these guys have treated, not just myself, because I know other people have been there, treated themselves with such respect, dignity. They're the type of people that you want to do business with, because they give you the opportunity to make you feel like this was important to them.
Right, and that's what makes DNR House of Diamonds unique to the industry. I mean, you can walk into the big box stores, and you know, I'm not going to mention any of them to give them any credit, but you're not really dealing with the personalized attention that you get in the philosophy that Dave and Rich have in their business. I mean, you only can see them by appointment. This is not a retail shop per se that you're going to go in at 10 and they're open till 9, and you're just going to see whoever's behind the counter.
Who could be, you know, with all due respect, a minimum wage clerk.
Exactly, who's not educated in the industry. And with DNR House of Diamonds, you're getting an appointment, one-on-one service, attention to detail is focused on you, and that's what really makes DNR House of Diamonds unique in what they offer. Check out their Yelp reviews. They're listed on Yelp with well over 50 reviews, and now you said a couple of weeks ago you're on yellowpages.com as well?
We're on Yellow Pages, also Google+, and you can find us in the Better Business Bureau. We're one of their accredited businesses there.
Right.
And, you know, again, going back to the experience, we designed the concept to really, truthfully, we have no intention of growing. Now that sounds weird, but the fact is, we love what we do.
Right.
And where else can you go and get professional service from the owner? And
Right.
in most businesses, that's tough to do.
It's almost impossible.
And when you can set an appointment and you're talking to the decision maker behind the case, but that decision maker, and I can say this is true about me and Rich, have incredible amounts of experience in that industry. It's just comfortable to be able to make a decision
Right.
because you're getting great information, and it makes it easier for you to put thoughts together and make a final decision.
Absolutely, and it's funny because I asked you about this at last week's meeting, because I did make it there this morning, about black onyx. I mean, Robin and I just love the black onyx stone.
Sure.
And,
Me
you know,
too.
and, you know, we always talk about diamonds and
Sure.
heavy jewelry, and I asked Dave, you know, do you deal with black onyx? I said, yeah, we do anything you want. So the site that he has us going over to the shop on, I mean, there's some gorgeous pieces out there that they had. Now, these are pieces that if someone selects a piece, you don't have these in inventory, but they would be designed off of what you have here,
Yeah,
is that correct?
what typically happens is these are styles that are through a company that we partner with.
Okay,
They warehouse many of these pieces. For example, if you click on one,
okay,
you'll notice that on the blow-up in the right-hand corner, right above or right by the price, it'll say if it's available today or not available.
out of stock.
Okay, some are, some
Right.
aren't. But if it's out of stock, usually
Right.
it can be manufactured within about 2 weeks.
Okay,
But most items are in stock and we can get them within 24 hours. That's the other cool thing. It's rare that you can get some turned. You're not waiting a week or two for the
Right.
package. It's overnighted to us. So that's pretty awesome as well. We're not messing around, especially if you have a short window. And let's be honest, those guys like to shop at the very last minute. And so if you can't pick something up right at that moment in the shop,
Right.
if you give me 24 hours, I can help you out. If you give me
Absolutely.
less than that, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
24 hours most of the time, I can take good care of it.
Well, I think this is gonna be my year, because last year, you know, we wanted to, you know, celebrate Cammie and her stuff.
right,
So she says, you know, you got the retirement coming up, you got the 70th birthday coming up. She says, and I know you love star sapphires. So before the end of the year, when we have our appointment to take care of our business, watch out. She might be on the lookout for my April present.
Well, I'll give you some history on star sapphire. Star sapphire is actually a created gem.
Yes, it
It was
is.
originally created by Union Carbide, and on the back of the stone there was always an L engraved, and that was for Lindy Star. And that's where it came from, but the original derivative of that material was used for coating the inside of large machinery to reduce friction. So there, like you have a sapphire watch or a jeweled watch, well, this was on a much larger industrial level, so they created this material to cut friction down in large equipment. Later it evolved into what we know as blue or star sapphires. Again, they're a created gem, man-made gem, but they have that beautiful asterism in the middle.
Amazing.
And a lot of times that's what's so incredible. But that's just a little taste of some of the experience and background information we have on a lot of different gems that you might be interested in.
See, that's why you want to go to a place like DNR, because not only do they get you what you want, but they educate you along the way. And it makes you feel a little bit better that, hey, look what I got, and here's the reason why I got it, because these guys gave me
Sure.
all this information.
Well, that's what's cool about gems. There's all kinds of lore. You know, the whole deal of diamonds comes from the word armas, which means conquerable or unconquerable. And that's what the Greeks wore into battle, the Romans wore into battle, because they believed it was a talisman that protected them against any kind of injury or harm.
How do you explain the mad rush of these colored diamonds over the past 10 years? The
Well-
chocolate and the vanilla and the strawberry and, you know, the coconut cookies and cream. Where did this come from?
Well-
Because it's back in the 60s, that's it, you know, yellow, white, that's
Well,
all.
now you'll get me going, but you know, you have to really understand how diamonds get colored. For example, a normal diamond, when it's within 170 miles deep within the earth, and all of us know what graphite golf clubs are and graphite tennis rackets, well, that's a diamond. It's 100% carbon. At 170 miles deep within the earth, under tremendous pressure, under tremendous heat, that material actually almost becomes molten. And when it's in that state, it gets exposed to nitrogen. And it's the most common gas, I guess, that it gets exposed to, and that's what gives it its brown or its yellow color. The absence of that in a gem causes it to be extremely rare, and that's where you get into your colorless diamonds, etc. Now, if it's any other color of the spectrum, other than brown or yellow, it can just be infinitesimally blue, and that diamond is off the charts expensive. It could be a 1 carat stone that's worth $250,000.
Wow.
Where a typical 1 carat is 4,000 or 5,000 hypothetically. But if today we have such ability to recreate Mother Nature in a laboratory, that we can take diamonds that are maybe not the most preferred color and expose them to high temperature, high heat, high pressure, and almost dial in a color. So you started with a gem that wasn't that expensive, but ended up with a gem that's very unique in color, and it's stable. It will hold over time. But just to give people a little bit of an idea of the rarity of diamonds, and this is a visual for you, there's an old saying in the jewelry industry, you have to move 250 tons of ore to find a 1 carat diamond. Well, to put that in perspective, most of us guys love golf. So
Right.
let's
Right.
imagine your fairway that you always hate because it's a 550-yard fairway, par 5.
Right.
Let's put 250 Ford F-150 trucks side by side on that fairway
Okay.
and fill their beds full of dirt. That's how much material has to be moved
For 1
just
carat.
to find a 1 carat diamond of any grade.
Wow.
So when you think about it, how much did that diamond cost? And how much does it cost to move that kind of dirt?
Right,
Not that bad of a deal.
right, right.
Not too shabby.
And one more cool fact I'll share with the audience out there, which I think this is why I love gems. Any diamond, I don't care what diamond you have, it's grandma's, mom's, sister's, it doesn't matter. Just go touch it this evening. Just touch that diamond. Because you just touched something that's almost 2, in some cases 3 billion, that's with a B, years old. It's an amazing to me. It predates life as we know it.
Sure,
It
sure.
predates cellular life
Wow.
as we know it. You can't get a better antique than that. And that's
Right.
what's cool about it. I always love people come and say, well, is that a used diamond? I'll say, well, it was used about 2 billion years ago. But,
And it
you know,
cuts glass.
Exactly. So, there's just crazy cool stuff about gems that, we love to teach and advise and let our clients know about. And it just adds, I think, to the wonderment, to the fun, to the wow factor that I think every young lady loves. Since she was 5 years old, she's always wondered what her engagement ring is going to look like.
Right.
And we love delivering that perfect gift.
Right, and the experience, it's, somebody said today at a meeting I went to, they talked about how buying a home is probably the most expensive investment you make, and, I'm sure there's jewelry out there that can equate to the same price as a home, but
And then some.
I think buying a piece of jewelry, whether it's an engagement ring or wedding ring or just because or whatever, it's still a pretty important investment
Sure.
because of what's tied to that piece of jewelry.
Yep.
And to go into a shop to be educated, to go into an experienced environment to where you and Rich can educate the buyer, and so that the consumer can feel good about their purchase, that they're educated, that they know it in their heart that they're making the best purchase based on information that you've just given them, and they feel good about their purchase. With all due respect, you can't put a price tag on that.
No, you
Not
can't.
a chance.
They talk about, in young ladies' lives, what's the most important event of their life. And I think number one is probably the birth of their first child. People agree is probably number one. You would think number two is their wedding. It isn't. It's the engagement.
It sure is.
And we have a lot of guys that come in and they're scared. They're like deers in headlights.
Sure.
They're
Sure.
worried about making the right decision. And we always say we're there to really help them not mess it up. We want to help them get the information, help them with the price point, make sure they're getting the absolute
Right.
best value, and we listen. That's something that's lacking, in my opinion. A lot of people try to sell.
Right.
You got to listen. What is she like? What's her taste go towards? Does she like vintage? Does she like something more contemporary? What kind of clothing does she wear? How tall is she? All these little things go into what kind of ring might be the perfect ring for her.
Right.
Sure, does she have long fingers?
Sure,
and stuff?
sure.
You know,
It's that knack and skill of learning over the years and kind of
Right.
reading to the point where we can really assist in helping you make the perfect choice.
Absolutely. John?
This is something that will never lose its value either, right?
Well, that's a really great question. We just all went through probably one of the worst recessions our country has ever faced, and you saw fluctuation in gold.
Right.
But if you watch the diamond pricing, it really didn't jump. It didn't go up, which it traditionally does, about 5 to 10% every 5 years. But it stayed stable.
Yeah.
And your larger stones even appreciated. So
Don't say stones, please.
I forgot that's kind of a tender spot for me.
Yeah, please.
Okay. But at the end of the day, they're a wonderful, wonderful thing, and you're right. They don't go down in value. A lot of people ask me, and I'll be straightforward. Is it a great investment? The truth is, you're buying at retail. No, it's not a great investment. But if you have the opportunity to buy at a price that's maybe just above wholesale, because no one sells at wholesale, I don't care what anybody says, that means they're selling it at what they bought it for, and that ain't true. That's just all there is to it. But if you can buy it close to that number, and one of our goals is to try to be as close to that number as we can. That's why we're trying to eliminate the overhead, so we're not trying to carry all of that weight as a business. It very quickly catches up over time with what you paid. And then you can liquidate a lot more easier than if you'd have bought a diamond at a much higher markup. And, you know, let's be honest, there's lots and lots of stores out there that operate at all different expense levels, and it impacts their pricing.
Right, absolutely.
But I can also tell you that back in the 60s, when we were first looking at diamonds back then,
Right.
you were talking about a 1-carat diamond, you mentioned something like around $5,000.
Sure.
Back then it was only 1,000
Sure.
for a
Well,
1-carat.
you know, it's funny, even today, people ask, well, what's the best one to sell for? Well, a D-flawless 1 carat is somewhere between 19 and 22,000, depending upon where the jeweler has it marked. But the typical 1 carat that we would consider a beautiful, bright, pretty stone that's not overkill to some degree,
Right.
is still in that $6,000 to $7,000 price range on average.
Which,
So,
you know, back in the day, is like, are you kidding? You could get a 10-carat ring for that price.
Right, right.
sure, exactly.
I know you're going to be in transition soon to a new location.
Sure.
But you're currently located where?
We're currently located in Tivoli Village. The easiest way to come visit us, number one, is set an appointment online at our website. It's that the website is primarily black and blue.
Which is what your wallet will feel. No,
That's right.
no, only kidding.
But at the top, there's an odd green button. It's
Mm-hmm.
green on purpose. We want you to want it to stick out. So if you click that, it takes you to our appointment calendar. You can book a time that's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And that will also send you directions and reminders about your appointment. But the office currently is in Tivoli Village. We are in the Regis Office Center. By the way, the Regis people have been incredibly good to us. We are on the 3rd floor in the Rotunda building, which is the center tower. If you're outside looking at the buildings, we are above David Barton's gym. So that's the easiest way to find us. Take the middle elevator out of the parking garage up to the 3rd floor. That's the quickest way. But we did finalize our lease this week,
Yay!
and we are very, very excited about our new offices, which will be on the 4th floor, Suite 440, in One Summerlin. That's that big blue building
The
in
downtown
downtown
Summerlin.
Summerlin. So
Very cool.
What is that?
that is, we should be in there by early part of April. So
All
we're
right.
pretty
Very
excited
nice.
about that. And that's that big building that was kind of the sign of the recession that stood there for
That's
so
right.
long.
That's right.
And how did we know our future was going to be tied there? But it's in a great center. The shopping center there is incredible. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, you should.
Do you have
but-
expanded hours during the holidays?
We do. Again, you know, Rich and I, if you can book online, but there's a number for you to call as well. It'll ring my phone or Rich's phone personally. And if you need to meet us late, after hours, or even early, hey, it's our business, what we love to do. It's this time of the year. We gotta do what we need to do to take care of our clients.
Again, the benefit of that one-on-one service that you're not going to get in your old box store style of merchandising. So, Dave, thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate your support.
Appreciate you
and-
giving us the time. Thanks.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure, and folks, just remember, you know, that last minute gift, or the holidays, engagements, whatever, just because, DNR House of Diamonds, that's the place to be with Dave or Rich, and make sure you tell them Vegas Unwrapped you heard about him here with Phillips and Cash.
Absolutely.
All right, with that, we're going to step aside for a final break. When we come back, we're going to banter about a couple of things, maybe a weird news item or two just because, but got a couple of things I want to throw at Mr. Cash, and not just my cell phone or pen. So we'll throw some questions his way and get his input. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped here on Vegas All Net Radio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be wrapping up right after this.
And we're clear, guys.
Jump.